Part of what made Delphi such an important city was its mythological and religious status. Ancient Greek mythology states that when the deity Zeus released two eagles to find the center of the world, they met in Delphi. The name Delphi derives from the word dolphin, as it was believed that this was where Apollo arrived on the back of a dolphin. Now we are going towards the Delphi Museum, and the entry is restricted by a pass, and we are going to see inside the collections collected.
Once upon a time. It's a recreation from an artist who made it 1 year after the excavations there had begun in 1894. 1894. This design shows Delphi, the whole complex, with the theater on the top. That's a theater that was made for Apollo and for the musical competitions. Underneath there was the temple of Apollo. Inside the temple was the place where the oracle was giving prophecies. The oracle was a wise woman, and she had a title. Her title was Pythia. Yeah, Pythia. It was named Pythia because of a mythical serpent.
Delphi is an archaeological site in mainland Greece comprised of the well-preserved ruins of one of the most important cities in ancient Greece. Archaeologists have found evidence that Delphi was inhabited as early as the Neolithic period, and sites dating to a mark on that area. Many of the sites in Delphi date back to the 5th century BC, although many have been reconstructed and some altered by the Romans. Many of the buildings also suffered from damage and destruction caused by fires and earthquakes. Nevertheless, walking through the Delphi offers a fascinating insight into the lives of its former inhabitants. Today, Delphi reveals much of its past through incredible ruins, demonstrating a balance between religion, politics, and leisure activities, particularly sports. Amongst these are the Temple of Apollo, believed to date back to its 4th century BC and once a central ceremonial site. This temple is believed to have been one of the several that were built on the site. The previous ones have been destroyed by fires and earthquakes. This stood next to the archives of the winners of the Pythian Games, which held at Delphi, burned down in 373 BC, also known as. Other sporting sites such as Delphi Gymnasium and the stadium are also visible and are well preserved. Possibly the best preserved site in Delphi is the 5th century Doric building of the treasury of the Athenians, which is located along the Sacred Way, a central road of the religious area of the city. The treasury of Athenians held the trophies of sporting victories. Along its exact purpose is still the subject of debate.
And very few new stones were added, very white pieces, which is a repair. The rest is authentic.
So they ran 42 kilometers.
42 kilometers is the distance, yes, from Marathon
That is
to
why
Athens.
marathon is 42 kilometers.
Every
Half
marathon in the
marathon is
world.
21. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
every marathon has the same
42.
distance.
Even today they run. Yeah.
Okay, that's the only treasury
Yes,
found. All
the
the others
treasury.
were along the Sacred Way.
Perhaps Delphi's most iconic site is the Tholos, constructed in around 380 BC. This one circular building has 6 Doric columns, 3 of which stand today. The Tholos is actually located away from the rest of the main Delphi sites, and again its exact purpose is unknown. The nearby Delphi Museum explores the history of the archaeological site and houses many finds from its excavation. This famous site also features one of our top 10 tourist attractions in Greece. The Tholos of Delphi is among the ancient structures of the sanctuary of Athena Pronia in Delphi. The circular temple Tholos shares a immediate site with other ancient foundations of the temple of the Athena Pronia, all located less than a mile east of the main ruins at Delphi, in the modern Greek regional unit of Phocis. The Tholos is part of Delphi UNESCO World Heritage Site.